Obi-Wan Kenobi versus a Chinese fella. Obi-Wan Kenobi versus a Chinese fella. Yeah, that's a good matchup. Alright, so we're going to see that Japan play again against Obi-Wan Kenobi here now. It's another Ottoman versus Japan. So if you didn't like the first match, you get to watch it again with a different player as Ottomans now. I think honestly here, I have seen Obi-Wan Kenobi compete in previous games in this tournament. I think Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be able to handle this Japan pretty well. He seems to have a basic grip on the gameplay of the Ottomans. So I think in this situation, the Japan better prepare here. And I don't think going the traditional... Well, he's not going the traditional route. He's actually going a bit unorthodox. Because going Portuguese consulate into cheaper Tsushuguru Shrine build order is very old school of the legacy game, and it's something we rarely ever see in Definitive Edition. It's not a bad thing, it's still viable, but it has been proven typically that the Tsushuguru Shrine is the most easiest setup. No, not the Tsushuguru, the Torii Gate is the most easiest setup because, well, you don't have to go through the trouble of fitting in a consulate, you don't have to go through the trouble of a lot of things, you get the free military rickshaw to put the barracks down. It's just more flexible for a competitive setting. Going Tsushuguru Shrine, though, while it is more complex, it can be rewarding because it's going to give you more resources in the long haul, provided you can move very quickly. Because here's the thing, there was a time when I wanted to do Japanese in ranked ladders on Definitive Edition, back when I used to do that, and I followed the old school route of going Portuguese consulate into Tsushuguru. I noticed I was really far behind and very slow. I don't know if you ran into those issues when you tried it, but I used to be very delayed when trying to set up. It was not that good. I would honestly try to basically get the consulate first, get the Tsushuguru, try to set everything up. But I noticed all the time, players always had big armies in front of my base by the time I had everything situated with my military and I was pumping out the Ashigarus, so that's sort of why I went the route of the Torii Gate, because at least with the Torii Gate setup, everything was a lot easier to build up. I already had my barracks there, I could already do stuff, so I felt a little bit more organic, right? I didn't, it wasn't like a win-win, like I wasn't like taking huge victories or anything, victory laps, but at least the setup seemed to be more intuitive, yeah. Now in Wars of Liberty and Asian Dynasties, it's quite the opposite. Going to Tsushuguru Shrine with Portuguese consulate there seems to be very good, because essentially gives you a ton of resources, and then you can usually just produce tons of army with very little struggle, as long as you're setting up everything right. Yeah, but looks like Tsushuguru Shrine again with the Portuguese consulate. Very nice. Ottomans. It went 3 Yuruks followed by capitalism there. So this is going to be probably a double barracks Janissaries, just set up by the deck name as well as the card layout. So we'll see that most likely. And they're going up with the core master right for 400 wood. 400 wood is enough to afford 2 barracks, so that should be quite easy to set up. And yep, most definitely. Now we'll see if this Ottoman does go for a professional double barracks Janissary. How will this Japan player do? Will they be able to hold the line? Or will they sort of crumble like a cookie crumbled up or something? Yeah, that's basically what we're going to see here. Because the problem the last game was the Ottoman set the build order up good initially, but he didn't follow through. He wasn't like paying attention to his build limit on his Yuruks and making sure he got the appropriate Mosque tech to increase it, which was an issue. He's kind of fallen prey to those Renegados way too easily there, when he sort of backed up, got his deli shipping in, and then gradually got in a stable to try to handle the skirmish units. That would have won the in that game, but now that we have a bit of a stronger Ottoman here, I think things are going to be a lot more challenging for Japan running that particular strategy, if he is running that particular strategy, because who knows, he might be playing more legit. Oh no, he's going monasteries, so I'm going to run into this situation again where he's going to try to spam Renegados on this map. We'll see if that ends up working. Yeah, I mean, I do like the fact that he sets these little walls up though, because honestly what he's doing is very, very slow. setting up outlaws, because you don't have a lot of that coin at the start there, so it's not like you can get a steady stream of like 5 renegados at a time from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? So basically, what he does there to give himself enough time is just set up a ton of walls around that periphery. Yeah. And this is actually something I used to deal with a lot when I was in the rank ladders of the Fam Edition. I used to see a ton of Japans do this, where they would just wall up like crazy on the maps. They would wall, and set up like castles. So this sort of like very defensive walled Japan is actually something I'm kind of used to. But I think personally it's not the best for like tournament settings. Mainly because if you can figure out how to get through that wall and like press the Japan, it kind of collapses very quickly. You know what I mean? Because you're spending a ton of wood on those walls that could be going into shrines, which basically refreshes your economy and adds more stuff in. So if you're just sitting there building all these walls up and turtling, even with your constant build production, you're just not getting that economic perk of the shrines in bigger numbers that you would get to spend the wood, basically. So yeah, that's kind of an issue, right? Oh yeah, absolutely it is. So yeah, we're gonna have to see if that ends up becoming an issue or not. So he did get a shipment of Ashigarus. He's got about 6 renegados right now. How about this Armin? This Armin, yep, double barrack Streletsy. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's kind of playing a little bit playing a little bit more consistently here, I'll say that. You know, he kind of knows how Armins are supposed to be played. Not single barrack Streletsy, double. Should be trying to queue up at least 8 to 10 of them per rep there, which is very essential. Because the thing you're supposed to do with Janissary Rush, get as many of them as you can. Get as many of them as you can, because they're a high hit point Jan, so they can last on the field quite a bit. So if you can keep bringing them in and in more and more, enemies really struggle with them, even when they're using some of their quote-unquote skirmish units, because the Jans are just so durable. They can be a good residue there to keep the Armins in the match. But we'll see, though. Looks like right now Kenobi is on about 18 of them, so he's got a pretty okay stack there. Let's see if he can grow it a bit, though. Make it go a bit more in his favor there, pretty much, yeah. He is sending the Ashigarus down, but he's going to have to back those up, right? Doesn't want to lose those too easily. It'd be pretty bad, yeah. Okay, Renegados, get in position. Take out some of these Janissaries, which would be great. Yeah, very nice. Alright, so Japan is going to turtle. How many shrines is he on, by the way? Is he doing a good job with the shrine production? Yes, he is. He's actually aiming to get a ton of those. Keep in mind, he does have Portuguese and Heavenly Kami active, which means that his shrines right now cost only... Let's see how much it only costs. It only costs 75 wood to make shrines right now, because of both of those combined conditions there, which I think is quite good. Another batch of Bestios is out now, so he's got about 7 crossbowmen on the field. Should do quite a bit of damage, I would say, yeah. Quite good. So here comes the Renegados to take some shots onto his jams there. Very nice. It looks like the Armin did take out about 2 shrines, though, from Japan there, so that's going to hit his economy a little bit. Definitely got to pay attention to that sort of thing, for sure. So, what's going on over here? Ashigaru's going into sort of like a close defensive formation so they can try to lob some snipes onto the vills. I think that's a good idea. Japan going for their second wonder, which will be Golden Pavilions, so they can get some range attack increase on their Ashigarus and probably their Renegados as well. Yeah. Looks like Japan for right now is going all range units. They're even going for Comancheros. Even the Comancheros. I wonder if we're going to see Atonement here. I think it would be about the time you want to get Atonement, so all those outlaws you're doing are reduced pop. And you can maybe get the Yoimbos later, the Yojimbos, the big samurai with the splash katana melee attack. And then the bow for like attacking from range, yeah. Is this the... Yep, that's the 210 XP treasure there, which is quite valuable. That's going to bring a pretty good XP value there to the Ottoman. And as you know, with the Ottomans, every XP treasure the Ottomans get, it gives them a huge leg up in the battle, because the Ottomans are really needing of really good shipments to plow forward, pretty much. So yeah, that's going to be quite good. What orders he could go? So he's going to go 5 Safahis followed by Falconets. I think that's a very responsible setup. The Safahis will guarantee proper melee aggression against all these range troops that Japan is spamming. And then the cannon should be able to help blast this wall down, as well as being some good anti-infantry itself. Yeah. I just don't understand what those Comancheros are going to be doing, though. So I feel like this Japan is a little bit untrained, because normally Comancheros are usually going to be a bad choice in any matchup. You really should never make Comancheros, because here's the thing, their stats are not that great. You know, Comancheros are not that good. Definitely want to think about maybe going for anti-cavalry, either going spam of the Ashigarus or making a few Yabazumes, but definitely don't do Comancheros, because the Comancheros won't counter a whole lot without proper numbers, and that obviously is going to drain your pop space. So you gotta be a little bit strategic there, honestly, for the best results. Looks like those Falconets are rolling in right now alongside that army there. Quite good. Right, so Ottoman's going to be shipping in 1,000 wood. I think that's great. Bringing in about 4 more Janissaries. Very good. Japan, how much are they on? So Japan, is he going to go flaming arrows? Because he's going to need a flaming arrow shipment to deal with these Falconets, you know. Might even want to get both of them there. Because here's the thing. The only way he's going to be able to outrange that stuff is with the flaming arrows, pretty much. Why is he engaging before he gets flaming arrows, though? This is so bad. Does he think that the Comancheros are going to be able to handle the Safais there? Like, really? Of course they're not. They're not that good. Like, 27 range attack. Not what you need right now, honestly. You know? But it looks like they're doing some good work here against the Safais, though. Which I'm kind of impressed with. Maybe I'll be a little bit nicer to the Comancheros, perhaps. Just a little bit. Still, there's a lot better fish in the sea there for Japan to be making than Comancheros, but I'll let this one slide. Well, right now, yeah, he's going to get flaming arrows, but unfortunately he's lost his whole army, so they're going to be directly targeted by that Safai in his base. As well as the other troops, because Ottomans just broke the wall down, so they're going to be rolling in quite quickly there. Yeah. Japan's going Jaegers now. Okay, flaming arrows. It's not microing him right. He's letting the jams get around top. Oh, he gets a Falconet. Great. His Villa's punching the Janissary for some reason instead of garrisoning. Does he have any Jaegers yet? Yeah, now he's got Jaegers right there. Oh, he's got the Falconet on his tail. Look at that. Took out one of the Jaegers and sort of chased him over here. It's quite good. That monster is coming down right now, and I think things are going to go really soft here for the Japan. Yeah, he's going to try to come back with Yabazumes. Now, the Yabazumes should be able to wipe out this Falconet with their really good anti-artillery multipliers, which is, if you look at the unit's base stats, it's about 7x against artillery, bringing it up to a whopping, you know, like almost 100 damage against cannons almost, not including the pierce armor of the cannon. Yeah, it definitely shreds them. Just like that, yeah. Ooh, he's got a couple ashes there, but not enough to fend off the Cav. Look at this blunder here of his Vils. Why were his Vils up here? You know how dangerous this is? They were up near this gold mine. What was Japan thinking? Like, he knew his base was under siege, and he decides, hey, I'm gonna stick my bills towards my enemy's base. That's bad movement there. Because here's the thing, you always gotta be operating around the idea of map control when you're playing a 1v1 like this. If you know that you control that area, you can happily send your vills to a resource. But if you don't control that area, I wouldn't be sending my troops there, because you're gonna be sitting duck if you get surrounded, because you have no access to that area. You know what I mean? You don't have any walls, you have no towers, you have no defenses. You're really setting yourself up for failure there. Yeah. Now, he's trying to do Jaeger Yabazume, which is a weird, wacko combination for Japan, but, maybe there's something there we don't know about. Maybe. I really doubt it, but, yeah, see, this is the problem. He's losing a lot of stuff here that he shouldn't be. Worst thing is, he's got the Janissaries on his tail, so it's not like he can even properly do any sort of kiting tactic with these Jaegers, which he probably wants to, yeah. Comes the Jaegers. He's branching them off from Yabazume, takes out the cavalry, and sort of go after the infantry now, which is good. Very nice. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear when you look at like the resource difference, the scoring. Actually, yeah, no, the Ottomans have a bigger score. Just checking it. Now he's going to be bringing in 1,000 gold. This should allow the Ottoman, if he wants to like go to age 4, maybe. Since he's already got enough presence here, he could go to age 4, get guard Janissary, and bring out some bombards, big abyss shipment, something like that nature. Yeah, no, it's up to him. Really has a lot of different tactics here if he needs them. Delhi's right on top of the Jaegers, that's good, but the Yabazumes are right near behind, so we can't go after that just yet. Good thing to do whenever you're playing a 1v1 and you're ahead, like super red. Get a second town center like this Ottoman did. They're booming really well with 2 town centers, which is going to make sure that the Ottoman has constant resources for combat. Even if the Japan were to somehow make a turnaround and like fend off your army and then start raiding and stuff. Basically giving yourself a second town center is like a great insurance policy because it keeps your vill count higher. And of course, if an enemy does come to attack you, that's another spot that you can garrison and like deny any vills being lost in that area, which is great. Ottoman's going to continue by training Falconet, it looks like, but Japan does add in Nagis, the Naginata riders. It's actually attacking some of the Ottoman forward Yaruks there, so yeah, getting some pressure there, yeah. Wow, look at that. Oh, watch out for the Falcons, though. I think this is what Japan wasn't expecting. Got 3 Falconets on him, and he's got Jans on him. That's not good. I think 3 artillery brings the Ottomans back in this skirmish. How many Yabazumes does Japan still got? Just wondering. He's got a few. He's got about 5. Yabazume should get in position and try to pick off these cannons, because if you can pick them off, things are looking a lot nicer there for the Japan, yeah. Japan is trying to catch up with some of the villager shipments, it looks like, 7 vills, so that's good. Should put them in a better position there for a long-term battle. Alright, so what's going on this side? We got the, how are we going after the Ungurs again? With the Falconets and Jan's pursue with the few Abbas. Yeah, no, that's a problem. You need a substantial force there to try to take down these Janissaries. It's quite a big mass there, pretty much. Let's see what the Jans... Ooh, look at that. That's not good. Oh man, crazy. That's not good. How many bills are you on, Japan? Let me see. 19. So he's basically down to like almost age 2 level bills. That's not good. It's not good at all. Whereas the Ottomans are still town center, 2 town center booming right now. Oh, Japan got a town center too. That's great. It's a good move. I like it. I like it. Yeah, though. You gotta do something about these Falconets, though. That's your biggest kryptonite right now, is these Falconets. You gotta, like, obviously keep the infantry at bay when you're doing it, but, yeah, you gotta get these Falconets out here to be able to deal with the infantry next. Otherwise, it's gonna be really tough there. Yeah. Running cab against Jan Abbas. Weird. Weird how he doesn't have those Naggies up there fighting the Abbas guards. He's got them on the Jans. That's kind of like a backwards tactic right there. Yeah, no. It's a bit strange. Do say so myself. 10 more Jans. I think the Jans are just going to overwhelm the Comancheros because, well, here's the thing. The Jans actually have more hit points than the Comancheros do, so that should put things into perspective for you right away. Yeah. Picking up the top couloir there for the Ottomans to beef up their Abbas gunners mainly in this situation. Yeah, no, the last town center is going down. Yeah, not good, Japan. Not good at all. And kind of overwhelmed there, I would say. Absolutely. Big time. Alright, that shrine is down. Very good.
Evet. Hazır.
Yep, get those shrines down. Very nice. Good game though, Japan. I mean, honestly, Japan could obviously really improve his game here, but at least he was good enough to beat that other Ottoman though, so he's got something under his sleeve, something under his belt. That's good. That's good. It's good when you can at least win one game in the tournament, because, hey, I'd even win any games in this tournament myself, so more the power to you, man. Big time. Yeah.